All right. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Hope everybody's had a good week so far. My week has been, I don't know, largely uneventful. I had trouble. Had a bit of coding trouble yesterday, but today is for art, so I don't really want to dwell on that too much. So today, if you haven't stopped by before, I'm going to be doing some digital art practice. Specifically, I want to do some digital painting practice by making a fan art for the game that I'm playing on Monday mornings, which is still Silksong. I will be working on in the Krita program. Yeah, I think that's kind of about it. Oh, I do have a drawing tablet down here, so when I'm looking at this instruction, this is me looking at my painting itself. Chat is over this way, so chat, painting. And let's get started. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do for the art this week, but before we get to that, I'm going to do a quick review of last week's art piece, kind of go over what I like, what I want to improve this week, and then kind of set a goal and go from there. So, things that I do like. I like where I ended up with the colors, particularly in that the... hang on, let me get a new layer. Just drawn. Pencil. I do like what I ended up coming up with for like the hat. The fact that it looks metal and is like still brightly colored. I appreciate that. I like how that ended up coming out quite a bit. It's not quite accurate to the actual character art for Sherma, but like none of it is really. Like the colors are all wild, kind of on purpose. I was trying to really push that, which in the end I do like. Again, I like the overall vibe of it. Some of the things that I think worked pretty well, I actually really like this section right here of Hornet's, the way I painted that section of her head. For whatever reason, it just looks like the right energy and colors that I was going for. So I do quite like that. I'm not as happy with this part here, like the the inside of the cloak, I think, is just too bright compared to everything else. So I don't know if there's anything in particular I want to fix about that, other than just choosing better colors, and or maybe giving like more rough variation in it. Maybe a thing I want to look into. I like the background for the most part. I would like, I think, next time to, instead of having a light color base here and then darkening it up and adding all these other colors in, have like a darker, like a mid-tone that goes further out, like around here, kind of ease the transition from light to dark. So it's not just light and like, it looks like this is kind of a foreground forest kind of thing. So like foreground forest is an arch there. It's not my favorite way, but all in all, I do like the effect. I think it looks, I like the look of it. I know these vibrant colors are definitely not going to be for everyone, but this was pretty good at accomplishing what I was aiming for with the last stream. So, yeah. Oh, and then the last thing is, I'm not, the ground here, I'm not super happy with how that turned out. That was kind of, I was running out of time last week, so that's all I could get done. But it's very just gray, whereas everything else has a bunch of different colors in it. So I probably should have added some, I don't know, at least green maybe in there to break up like the solid chunk of gray. But it is what it is. Cool. So again, overall, I'm actually quite happy with how this piece turned out. The materials look like what they are supposed to be for the most part. I could probably do better at, one, figuring out how to render insect carapace and whatever Hornet's body is made out of. I could definitely change that up. And at least, oh, now that I'm looking at it, the eye color here should be the same as this, I think, as her body. It is not. And that, now that I've noticed it, I can't unsee it, and that's going to bother me a little bit. But yeah, I think that's from that. What do I want to work on this week? I think I think what I want to do is, I think I want to continue working on pushing the colors a little bit, but maybe not quite so happy and vibrant as this one. Maybe I'll like adding colors to it, yes, but not necessarily as bright as this, just to try to get a different feeling of feeling in the art. Yeah, so continuing to work on colors, maybe choose some that are less vibrant, but still like rich colors, I think is maybe the way I want to phrase that. So cool. For this week, I think what I want to work on is doing a painting of the sorry, during the last stream, and I'm gonna have to start thinking about how I want to start handling spoilers as we go for the thumbnails, because I don't want to give away too much for people who haven't seen it. But during the last stream, I came across the cogwork dancers, I think is what I found out they were called. I thought clockwork was what they were called, but no, the cogwork dancers. And then I ran away pretty quickly because I also had a side quest to get the pale oil for an improved nail or needle, which I wanted to definitely get before fighting them. So I thought they looked cool, and I think that's maybe just kind of the reference image that I want to do, is try to maybe paint something more from that reference, and then just play around with the color, like spend more time playing around with like the colors to see what I think works best, and just kind of experiment with that this time around. So this is the reference image that I pulled up. They also have this one if I need some more reference for the anatomy and shapes, perhaps. I wonder if I might actually go back on what I said and come up with a different pose for them, but now that I'm done reviewing last week's art, let's move into the first step of how I want to do this. I'm going to move over to a new canvas. Then we'll start with, oh, I didn't rename my layer. Sketch. Nope. Thumbnail. Okay. And then we'll just blue line it. Blue pencil. Perfect. All right, and then let's do some quick thumbnails to see what it is we can do. So, first thought is maybe actually just like these guys here, the spikies, 5 of them. Nice organic lines. And then just mirror that switch. Not actually super easy for me to do for whatever reason. To have them at opposite ends of the screen, perhaps. Maybe a little closer together. No, but if they're going to be closer together, I kind of want them to be interacting more than just kind of standing there. What can we do? Maybe we have one. Are they bowing to each other, maybe? Kind of similar pose. Maybe. That's not super interesting dynamically. The other thing, we could do them fully in the center of the frame, which honestly is probably a better pose for a portrait than for a landscape image. But thumbnails are landscape, and I don't currently stream in portrait mode. Although, I guess maybe I could, but I don't think that requires a thumbnail. Either way. I like the dynamic heights is nice. One of them is looking up. Honestly, that's actually pretty good. And I can just do, again, some background there. Okay, and then myself do one more. We could do what other dancing pose would work? There do I remember what all of their... What else we got on the wiki? We have some staggered poses. Sure. Oh yeah, they have the crazy glowing arc and lines thing. Different poses. I think actually, maybe if I do this pose and this pose, but instead of facing away from each other, they are looking at each other. I think that might look pretty good. So if we do like a looking in this direction, and up, and the other one, give some dynamic height to them, even though I think they are probably the same size in the actual game. Do facing this way. Yeah, do that one. Yeah, and then I can kind of incorporate their halo thing. Just do a halo thing out here with a line of action, probably, or several, like halos. Yeah, okay. I think that's a decent starting point. I think that's kind of my favorite of the sketches. So we'll do... Make sure you guys can see all this stuff. Yeah. We'll grab that, create a new layer. Whoops. Layer, new from selection. Copy selection to new layer. There we go. And then, oh, whoa, not what I wanted. Go to the size of the canvas. And I think I actually want to move them closer together. I could rather have them be more central to the whole composition. Yeah, okay. Cool. So that is done. I'll deselect everything. Go back to my brush. And then let's start rendering. So we have a... Okay, now again, the issue I had last time was the background color was not the mid-tone for the most part. So let's start with that, especially since I want to have a lighter circular element showing up later. We'll just fill with a... Ooh, what is the background color there? Largely, it is going to be kind of a bluish, desaturated bluish. Do that as the background. And then we'll go back to our brush. Reset size, make sure that's fine. And then we'll lighten it up a little bit. Kind of more towards the purple end, huh? Yeah, we'll do some of this. See how, whoops. Not what I wanted. Airbrush. Move more towards pink again. I think this actually also works because it's Valentine's Day tomorrow too, huh? And then we'll go a little bit. And then again. Here. Whoops. Some vignette. A little bit harsh, so let's back a bit. Okay, there's some nice variation in the background for now. I think it's a good place to start working from. So we'll lock the background for now. I will certainly come back and adjust it later. But next we want to do Cogwork 1 and go to my brush, reset, and okay, how do I want to approach this? By again choosing some nice colors, like some vibrant colors, but not going overboard. Like I want it to be a bit of a moodier vibe to it. So I need to figure out how to do that while still choosing some interesting colors. So let's start, because they seem to be kind of like a coppery color. Let's start with kind of that. The reddish, orangey. Reset the size. Whoop. All the wrong buttons. Cool. Actually, now that I have the layout correct, let me go back to the colors for the Cogwork dancers. There we go. Oh, they're more of a gold, huh? Okay. That's the case. Do I prefer like a brass and orange. Sure, we'll do that. I got the spiky shoulders. I got legs. I think actually just the pose into more of like a line. Oh, and then the head's just like a little lump. Little nub. Cool. Alright, so oh, actually we'll do a color reference. The color reference layer. This will be the yellow that I'm using. The darker, I think that looks pretty good, will be there for that one. And I can blend between the two and kind of pick from there. But if I want a reference point to come back to, I will have one. So I'll have the head here. And then the silver. Do that one. Base color for the silver. Why are you not? Oh, and then there's some metal as well, which can just saturated. Kind of no hue to it at all. There we go. We got like the silver headpiece and then the steel looking arms. Okay. As a color reference, I think that's pretty good. We'll lock that down again. Back to the cogwork dancer, number 1. We'll grab, also hide the sketch for now too. Really want to work on getting a bunch of different colors in here. Because yes, I do want it to be looking metal looking, but at the same time, oh no, what am I painting on? Oh dang it, okay. Alright. Oh geez, that's not what I wanted at all. What a reference. Just erase that. Thank you. Okay, great. Try this again. We will paint the heads, which kind of just align with the torso, almost exactly. So, the domed shape. Lock this in. Have the large neck. Lock this in as well. Giant eyes, which I will get to in a second. But for now, let's carve out the shape of the shoulders. A spiky here, and a spiky here, and a third spiky down here. Okay. And then it kind of comes together in a little vest thing. Little spiky, middle spiky, top spiky. It's slightly larger. Great. And it very shallow waist, down, fairly pointy abdomen. The same color for the legs as well. So here and this one, this direction. Of this. Because they have fully black legs, which again we will color of the background is such that I probably want to stick with the color of the warmer colors for the Clockwork Dancer, just to like a dark brown. Do they curve? They curve backwards a little bit. Of it here. Right, and then I actually want to, before I lose it, add, nope, that's not what I wanted. I want this color. We're gonna add a bit. Oh, why is that so large? That one. There. Great. Again, lock the color reference. This Clockwork Dancer. Grab the brown. Zoom in. And then the arm comes out from about here. And then out from about here. Oops, the gray arm blades. Gray arm blades. And then let's get rid of this because I don't need this anymore. then as just a shape, I like it. The head, I think, is too large, so let's... The neck is too long, I think. We'll put it down a little bit, thin it out, because it does taper in slightly. It is a very thick neck, but it's not quite that thick. Yeah, there we go. As a rough color sketch, I'm pretty happy with that. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to start to add in the headpiece. So it's going to be out and then up and up. And we have a here, goes straight up, pointy, and some smaller points. The top one is actually pretty, whoops, pretty thick, huh? Yeah, it's maybe a little taller than I intended, but I think that works. Great. It is also, I think, too far to the center, even though I'm pretty sure that's where the sketch has it. I mean, maybe I'm not necessarily upset if they are overlapping a little bit, but yeah, that actually ended up being pretty close to the sketch. Cool. And then we'll do the cogwork number 2. So we'll lock that for now. I will refine it in a second, I think, because I want to work out a little bit more of the positioning for everything, and then start thinking about some of the lighting before I start rendering like shadows and things like that. So we'll do that. And then I think if I work on the same colors at the same time, it should, I hope, in theory, speed up the workflow, because I'm not going to be constantly changing changing groups of colors, I hope. We'll see. Yeah. Okay. So, brief tea break. All right. And I am re-energized. Okay, so cogwork 1 is done. Well, no, definitely not done. The base colors are done. We'll lay out cogwork dancer 2. And then work on lighting and shadows and like really refining the details. And hopefully by doing it that way, we'll save some time. Let's see. Cogwork 2. I mean, 1 and 2 is maybe not the best nomenclature, but it's fine. Whatever. I'll be able to figure out which is which easily enough, I hope. Okay, now do I... how do I get the second cogwork to be slightly lower, even though they're the same size? How do I lay them out? I think what I will do is I'll just have the second cogwork be kind of in a slightly different, slightly different pose. So like the legs will be out a little bit further, and they'll just be a little more angled downwards. So we do the abdomen again as well. Bigger brush to start again to just lay out the shape. The neck coming up here. Grab the shoulders, the head facing this way, and then the legs will be kind of further out. The dark brown. No, that doesn't work. What did I do wrong? I did... Oh, that's why. It should be out that way. We do the arm down here. Down here. The metal arms. Yeah, more out that direction. No, because this way they look more like they're fighting each other. I don't think that actually works for what I want it to be. I wonder if... I think I want to have the bodies facing each other coming in. So like the line of action will end up being this. I think that's what I want to do. Okay, so if that's the case, we're going to grab this. And then I think this is fine, but what I want to do, I want to get rid of all of this down here and just have it facing the other direction. So we have the abdomen also out this way. Going out in that direction, perhaps. Yeah, okay. In theory, I like that better. We can hide the sketch again, and I'm going to work on cleaning up the color shapes of my a second cogwork dancer. I'm trying to make sure that they're both standing on the same platform. Whoopsies. Some of these, and then fix the head and neck again. I think that's the roughest part right now. I get them to look the same, or at least similar enough that we can tell that they're supposed to be the same design. Brown again. Our limb. Foreshortened once again. Cross. Oops. Yeah, okay, great. And we have the leg, which is about that size. Grab the brown. Do about there. Great. Okay. Pretty happy with that so far. Last thing I want to do, I'll add the rough head shape as well. Their headpiece, I mean. Large. Bit more substantial. Okay. I'm actually pretty happy with how that has come out. For just like the rough layout of things. Let's this up a bit. Oop. Rotate the canvas so I get a better arc on my in the dome on the top of the head. Here. Oops. Okay. Cool. From there, let's oops, unlock things, move them around a little bit. I think I want them to be closer together. Great. And then do a bit of cleanup around here. Great. Now I think do some brief adjustments here. Just wanna nope, not wait. Damn it. Right. Yeah, because this one I want it to be Clockwork 1 is looking more this direction. Whereas Clockwork 2 I want it to be looking more kind of straightforward. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's fine. Cool. We'll hide the color reference for now. I think maybe both to be just a bit larger, so do them again. I don't want you here. I want you Feel it. That feels better. Yeah. Okay, cool. And now let's start working on adding some additional details. So, okay, how do I want to approach this? I think we'll do... what if I do get a new layer? Don't want to merge yet. I think they're not a new layer from visible? Oh, that's the blue. Well, it's not necessarily what I want. Okay, so instead of visible, I get rid of that. Oh. Rid of the visible layer. Can I do this again? Layer, invisible, and then I can just hide those two if I want, and then work on that. But then I can't edit anything as easily, which I don't know. This maybe not an issue, really. Because now that I have them set up where I want them to be, I can always go back if I screw things up too badly, which I don't know that I will. But now we have the ability to just kind of bounce back and forth and work on the same things on both pieces. So, where do I want to have the lighting come from? I think we'll do lighting from behind. So again, they'll have some rim lighting kind of all around, and then possibly some from above, or like a secondary light source from below to add a bit of different. So we'll have hang on, do the light source layer, and then we'll go with ooh, what colors do we want to go with for something interesting? We have kind of blue and orange and purple in here, so we'll maybe stick within that kind of half of the color wheel, and not go with anything too crazy. Maybe just some like orangey, fiery color just from down here. Like from down here as well, and then we'll have some backlight from, it'll just be kind of like a light white from up here. Yeah, let's do that. We'll keep it relatively simple. I don't know that I want to really try to figure out combinations of light for the foreground colors, but I definitely want to have a couple of I don't know, something a little bit more interesting in terms of color wise than just like the straight light and shadow from the original designs, which again, the original designs are great. I'm not upset with it. I'm just trying to push myself to work with more colors than the ones that I can just see. very much in an attempt to develop my skills at color picking, or like color theory, I guess, is more the more what I want to do. Okay, so we have the cogworks are done. Clock color reference is still there. That's light source is just for reference, so we'll lock that one. I don't need that. I don't know if that's anything. Get rid of the paint layer one. We now have visible, so we can just paint on this. Great. Okay. So, from here, let's start working on some smaller details, which means I need to... We're using some orangey color here, but I will add that, I think, last, because I've... well, no, I'll add that now, I think, because we're going to add some underlighting here to pick out some more details, which means that from this color, I need to add a bit more orange to it. A little bit lighter. Small here. But we'll just go in here with that. Here. Trim out some of the spikiness for it. Cover that up in a second. So the light's gonna be up here. We'll cover. I'm going to say that this is a bit of a vest that sticks out from the torso. Continue that there. Go up here, and here. We'll have some here, as well as here. This side as well, be less, just because it's further away. Not really going to be much on this leg because it's going to be kind of obscured in the shadows. We'll skip that, and then here, this one, we will have correctly. Actually, once again here, there's not really going to be all that much coming from this side, so maybe a little bit along here, perhaps. Not going to be terribly evident. Arms. Ooh, I wanna... And that yellow. Okay. So now we'll do something similar. We'll grab that, the yellow color here. We will also then light it more towards the orange. Not quite that far. There we go. Oh, why did it not? This one is where there'll be more orange from this side here. This will be much more in the light there. And then this one, because it's further away, won't get it as much. Not really going to be much here either. Maybe just a little bit of orange in there. It'll come past the shoulders a little bit, maybe. Yeah, okay, so there's that. I think I want to actually grab this. Just grab it from that end a little bit. And from the dark here, lighten it up ever so slightly. Some variation in the color of the leg. Kind of very subtle because these are very dark, of course. Whoa! Not the button that one. Press. Okay. Cool. They are not solid bodies. So let's start trying to define some shapes here. There's this here. I'm going to add some shadows because it's a. And then go here. We'll do some shadows for this color. That. The shadow color is way too dark. Try this again. I think I need to use my color selector here. So, let's start with the base color. Go with just that. Okay, there we go. It's just a more subtle shadow. Probably That. No, that's not the right layer. What am I doing? That's fine. Because I got that line in the middle of their head, so it will be darkness there. No, it's not really going to back up here, but I do want to have a bit more differentiation on this, so we're going to cheat the light a little bit. Give one half of their faceplate a little bit lighter. The one towards each side of their individual lights that don't really exist. Do that, and then there. We'll shade in some of the other bits. Small. Yeah, okay, so what did I do wrong? This one has too much orange in the middle here. It is sensibly a little bit hidden from the light source, so let's fix that up a bit. Just a little bit of the orange on the highest parts of the armor outfit. Okay, that's starting to come together a little bit. Okay, now let's do something similar with the torsos, or the abdomens. Once again, they have the what's the word? The lines, the sections. We're going to actually do a bit brighter of an orange. Really just highlight the fact that it's shiny and picking up some of the light. So. want this here. This really should the edge. Should be the ever smallest little divot. Those are a little too big, I think. Have some metal as well. Give some light highlights. And grab that color. What am I doing? Rotate it and make it easier for myself to do this. One is going from this direction, so. Not correct. There can be a whole lot of light on that one. Great. Okay. Those of y'all who are here, I hear my dog going crazy outside. I'm gonna have to go let her in briefly. So, gonna and. All right, no idea what she was going crazy about, but we're back now. Cool. Now, what do I need to do? I need to add some shading to all of this. I think that means I'm going to add some We'll go with some purple shading, I think is the idea. And then we'll do... We'll start with the base color, move towards purple. No, I need to learn how to really figure out how to do some interesting what's the word I'm looking for? Some color variations within the same like solid chunk of material that maybe it's just a matter of finding a brush that gives some subtle variations in hue and in size. Yeah. Well, we'll keep it easier this time around. Grab my color here. Go lighter. Do some rim lighting for this as well. I guess not technically rim light, but like overhead lighting. To be yellow. Oops. Oh my gosh. Oopsies. Okay, that looks better. So, if I want to imply negative space, I need to have lines coming in from both sides. Seems obvious now that I've said it out loud, but definitely that was the missing piece. Here, go lighter as well. Okay. I mean, God, like, just the simple outlines in the light make that look so much better. I don't. Pretty crazy. Although I should, I think, also look at the reference image again. These are bigger, flatter panels, so I should maybe a bit more the topper on the upper half of it. Oops. Okay, and then we have this here. I want to get a little bit of inclusion in here. Didn't what color it was, so I'll do that. Ay. Every once in a while, the hotkeys don't kick in as fast as I want them to, or as I expect them to. Causes a few problems. Okay, cool. Now we'll add the stark white bits. They're basically it's going to be the eyes, which are very large. Last bits, we need to highlight the pointy, spiky headpieces, which shouldn't be that hard to do, really. Could also rotate it. Make my life easier. There's actually not going to be any light on the bottom side of that one. Interesting. Okay. And then, similarly here. Highlight it. And then we'll add some, go back to the orange-ish. A little bit of orange-ish as some of the shading. Just the bits that stick out a bit, I think. And only some of them. Because the rest will be kind of more in shadow. Yeah, okay, so we have that, and then we're going to go with just a kind of classic darker shadow. That. The shadow a little bit inset, so we can get a little bit of a rim lighting effect going on. Oops. Just the base color. No, I take it back. Maybe not. Maybe not inset so much. But if it's not at the edge, I'm doing it again. Rotate the canvas, make it easier for yourself. There we go. And then equally do this one. Oops. And then I think to just make it a little bit more pure, let's go in and some more of this. Not fully, because I do want to keep it kind of more somber a little bit, but because it is so vibrant in the uh, original image. You kind of want to keep that feeling with them as extra shiny. Okay, not too shabby. Now the last thing that I want to try to do is I want to have a little bit more color variation in these torso abdomen areas, because they are very large blocks of a single color. That was too much. Oops. Okay. Let's hide the light sources. Let's hide the color reference. What do we think? I think I'm okay with how that turned out. I need to go back and undo all of those extra bits of color there. It is not the correct vibrancy that I want. I do want it to be a little bit, like, ever so slightly darker. Not quite obvious as that. Yeah, I should have done this before I added the legs in, I think. Good to know. Okay. That's... much of a mess around here. And in a little bit extra around the edges. Oh, I entirely missed it on this one. Do the same thing here, just a room light, and then just like pull it in a little bit to give it some texture. Oops. I... Okay, as a... overall image, I feel confident that I can recognize what the, like which characters they are. The pose is decently dynamic and interesting. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing currently, but that's fine. I was going for dance, but they're not quite there. I now have a few minutes left. I think what I want to do really is I want to add some background elements. So we'll do a ground layer, which again I should have thought of earlier, but I didn't. So we'll stick with like a bluish color and go more of a darker purple navy. This as a base there. We'll lighten it up a bit. I'll actually lock the alpha, so... Nope, that's not what I wanted. Not the alpha, it was... lock the transparency, so I can't paint outside. Had a bunch of lighter colors and some darker ones as well. Some more maroons. And off. Nope, don't like that at all. We're just gonna, okay. Reset. For that. The brush. And then grab that blue. The darker. Saturated. More purpley shadows just to give some interesting colors in there. I have some orangish highlights. We'll make sure that we have that represented in some highlights on the ground as well. Oh, that's very much red. That's not what I want. Highlights, there we go. Cool. And then we'll do some pillars or something in the background as well. Once again with those darker darker blue. Oh, this should probably be. No, that's far too saturated. We'll go with. That's too desaturated. I did it again, same as last time. I don't necessarily want that. Okay. The issue currently that I'm trying to solve for is that the background, I think, is too gradiented and not enough texture for it. So let me just fix that. Grab some of the colors that I have in the background already. Just dab them around. Okay, that already looks better. Okay, and then the last thing that I want to do is grab a few of these. I don't like that. Great. Just a couple of dabs of that brush, just to break up the smooth gradients, and I think we'll call it there. Yeah. So this was a picture of the Cogwork dancers, done in about 2 hours ish. Yeah, let me let's go back to a full screen image. There we go. So that's going to be the oh no, I'm not actually quite done yet. I forgot that I wanted to include the visual effects line. So we'll do call it VFX. I had that big. I'll go with a pen and white. And then do I want to do just like a circle? Yeah, get around. Scale it up as well. Oh. Let's try that again. Circle and here. Why did you do that? Enter here. Why are we at blue? Center is here. No, I take it back. I don't think I want to do that at all. Cool. Yeah, no, well, the VFX doesn't need to be in there. I think this looks fine. Looks great. Cool. There was my 2-hour digital painting of the Cogwork dancers. Yeah, I'm going to sign off now. Turn this into the thumbnail for Monday's stream, which, you know, actually, now that I think about it, may or may not involve actually fighting the Cogwork dancers. But I do want to get the pale oil first. That said, thanks for checking out the digital art stream today. I will be live again on Monday morning at 9:30 Eastern time, playing Silksong, trying to get through that game. Yeah, hope everybody has a great weekend. Oh, excuse me. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and good luck on any projects that you're working on. Hopefully I will see you around on Monday. Take care.